This afternoon, we're chatting with Dr. John Hayes, who currently resides in Chicago, Illinois area, and we're talking about Knoxville College, his career, and the championship basketball teams.
Well, I came to Knoxville in 1955 from Tampa, Florida, and I came from a very accomplished basketball team in Tampa. I thought we were just fantastic guys. They used to call us the 10 tall men. And when I arrived in Knoxville for our first basketball session, I saw Dillingham and Rookie and some of the other guys running the drills. And they were running these drills so precisely that I'd never seen anything like it except when I went to see the Globetrotters in Tampa. And I was wondering how I could mesh in with these guys because they were all sophomores, they were all juniors and seniors. And here I come walking in as a young little guy from Tampa. Well, I was fortunate enough to make the traveling team that year. As I said, most of the guys on the team at that time were upperclassmen and they were getting ready to leave. So, of course, we didn't get a lot of playing time. When I say we, I mean the other couple of freshmen and myself. But we were a part of the team because we practiced against Rookie and those guys. And we knew what they were doing. And because we knew what they were doing, I think we made them an even better group of guys when they played other folks.
Yes.
So the one thing, there's a couple of things that stands out in my mind, and they may not be so much basketball related, but in a sense they are. In 1956, we were on our way back to Knoxville from Nashville. We had played Tennessee State and Fisk University. And most of the vehicles that we were traveling in were old, and they called us the gospel buggies. And we were on our way back to Knoxville, and the gospel buggy in which I was riding caught on fire. And really caught on fire. It was not just a small fire. The gospel buggy was just demolished. And Coach Julian Bell took some of the team to this little Chamber of Commerce up in the mountains and dropped them off and came back to get us, to take us to this Chamber of Commerce where he left other teammates. And after Coach had left, of course, they put us in the back room. They put us in the back room where there was just garbage back there. And we were not allowed to come out. There was one guy on our team, name was Lloyd Brannon, who was very fair-skinned. As a matter of fact, he could pass for white. And he was the only one who was allowed to order the food for us. Well, when the food came, of course, it was cold, it was winter. As soon as the food came, one of the guys in this office, this building, said, "Oh, the bus is coming." So, of course, we grabbed our belongings and ran out the door to meet the bus. We wanted to get the world out of there. And as soon as we got out the door, they closed the door and locked it and flipped the sign over that were closed. And there was us 6, 7 little black guys standing out there in the cold, really hugging each other to stay warm because some of our clothing had gotten burned up in the car. And that was one of the things that stood out in my mind, other than the fact that we were killing everybody on basketball. It was just a delight sometimes to sit on the bench and watch these guys just beat up on folks, And the sad thing was, at the end of the basketball season, after we had won the championship, was in my mind, I had to be here. And what are we going to do now that all of these guys are gone? Well, there was a guy on the team named Jackie Fitzpatrick. Jackie Fitzpatrick was really almost a team, you could say. He was just a fantastic basketball player. And he was left. And fortunately, there was a guy from Tampa, Florida named Charles Frazier, who was a friend of mine. His brother, as a matter of fact, had come to Knoxville with me as freshmen. And he was just getting out of the service. He went to a little school named Edwards Waters College, junior college that was, in Fort Lauderdale, in Jacksonville, Florida. And I kind of convinced him to join us here at Knoxville. And he was a fantastic basketball player. He was just a tremendous guard, and he could just shoot the ball. He could just flat out shoot. And he felt he took up a lot of the slack when Rookie and Ham and Chuck Lewis and those guys left. But I think our team, the 57 team, was really more of a team than the 56 team because we had to be, because we were really physically not as good. So we had to depend on a lot of teamwork from all of us. Ronald Blackstone, another guy named Michael Dix, they were some of the guards, and we just knew our role. We didn't have a role as, scoring a bunch of points. We had a role as, all right, John Hayes, you get out there, you're gonna guard this toughest guy. And Chuck Frazier, you're gonna score. And that's the way we went through that season. We lost a few games. I think we lost maybe 4 or 5 games that year. But we showed up well in the tournament, beat everybody in the tournament. We weren't beating everybody by 30 points as the 56 team was. But because we lost a lot of talent and we had to play as a team in 57, 58 because we just was not as talented as the guys who had graduated.
Right. Wow.